Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Uh, I don't know what I mean by episode, these are just random videos. Another episode, anyway, of War of the Ring with RompSteel. So we're doing a live filming here, which is why you get more of those beautiful pregnant pauses where we can use our silence to contemplate the depth and gravity of this game. So this is the next tournament game. This is round 2, game 1, myself versus Germinator. So yeah, I've never actually played him before. I think he said he's from Spain anyway, so it's always fun running into people from different cultures anyway. Not that that really comes up, but it's still interesting, you know. So I have no idea what he plays like anyway. As you can probably see, I'd slightly prefer to play Free People's. I'm just in a Free People's mood kind of day. So I asked if he wanted to do Treebeard tokens and cities because, I don't know, more things, more fun. But he's wanted to stick with the base game, and that is quite okay. The base game is still quite a hoot on its own. And of course, according to the rules, that's the default. So if one player prefers that, then that's how we do. Okay, so I will be Free People's first. You want to know the secret to winning? For starters, well, no, that's okay. AMR is a decent card to start with. And Ensa's a little bit lame, but just because it's so unlikely you're going to use it anytime soon, you know. I suppose it's nice to have. Anyway, the secret to winning is to roll lots of character movement and never get hit. Actually, never mind. That's not the secret. You want to get hit once to lose Gandalf. No eyes. Okay, he's a baller. One eye, only one muster. That is very bad news bears for him. Okay, that is a very pleasant start for me. Especially going 0 eyes and still not getting the second muster for Saruman is a bad news bear for sure. So I will heroically pass to start. And 3 Palantirs. Oh, that's a rough start. That is good news for me for sure. If I was a Shadow player, I would be annoyed at the moment anyway. So he could, in theory, try an early attack on Rohan here, since he only has 1 muster, just to catch me off guard. But that's not super likely anyway. Okay, he draws a strategy card. So I'm definitely not using a ring to move again. It's tempting to move a 3rd time against 1 eye, but if I give him a ring, that allows him to get Saruman this turn. So that is very not worth it. So I'm going to use this Palantir to play Éomer here, which, you know, not only helps me defend, but I get to use the Gandalf cycling ability to draw another card. And Scouts, always happy to see it. Obviously, I don't know what he's playing. He's drawing strategy cards, though, which makes sense. There's like Orcs Multiplying or Corsairs out there that you'd like to cycle to. Not hit. That's nice. Ideally, hit for a 3 next time is good. Actually, not hit is even better because he's not getting Saruman this turn anyway. Interesting is moving the 5 Orcs out first. He might have Shadows Gather. Wouldn't surprise me if like he did Shadows Gather for 3, brought this army out there. So I will move the Fellowship again. Safe again. That's nice. Shadows Gather? Question mark? Yeah, Shadows Gather. Nice. That does feel good, getting that nice big strong army out there. So I'm tempted to muster the Elves down, because this army being here is often a sign of headed towards the Dew line. Because if he'd wanted to, he could have put this army here and had that army out in North Ithilien or South Ithilien. But the downside is if I roll, no more musters, then I'm just helping him get the Witch King faster. But if I roll a bunch, though, then this helps. So, yeah. Elves it is. And, yep, he's coming off towards the Dew line. Makes sense. So I'm happy to have Scouts in hand. And Mirror of Galadriel. And, wow, all great cards. So Mirror of Galadriel is great because that allows me to, kill Gandalf and get Gandalf the White back a little more reliably anyway. And Book of Mizarble is cool. If I bring Gandalf the White back to the Grey Havens, then I could use it to put the dwarves at war, which is great, seeing as how he's... Okay, great. Very good stuff for me. Also good stuff for him. Lots of attacks and a couple musters. So let's see. I can save my Will of the West to try to get Gandalf the White this turn. I'm thinking it's a little more likely, though, that he is not going to let me get that. Like, he's going to save it for his last action. So even if I move twice, or even a third time with a ring, and kill Gandalf this turn, I still can't really get Gandalf the White. So yeah, he is coming. He's a coming. So let's see. He's going to use one muster to get Saruman and one to get Sauron to war, probably. So he has 3 attacks. So he can, go 1, 2, 3 and get Woodland Lower Realm under siege and, 1, 2 to get Dimrill Dale. So I think I'm going to use this Will of the West to bring the regular from Carrick to Old Forest Road, just so that I can, take advantage of my scouts and scouts away into Woodland Realm. The plus side is he doesn't have enough attacks to get Saruman and besiege both of these strongholds. So I think I'll be able to use this muster at the end of the turn to get the elves to war and be able to reinforce one of them at the start of next turn. But I don't need to do anything right now. So I'll pass again, and I'm predicting he's going to move closer, and then I'll do my army movements. I'm predicting this one to Northern Ravanian and that one to Dimrill Dale anyway. It's possible he might slow play it a little bit more and bring this regular from North Dunland to Moria first. But even if you are going to do that, you could still put this army in Dimrill Dale first, and that stops me from being annoying. Oh, interesting. Okay, the Southern Army moves to West Horondor. I was not expecting that. Okay, so now I'm going to use that Will of the West to put this guy on Old Forest Road, and I'm also going to bring that dwarf from Iron Hills to Erebor. It feels a little more efficient to bring this army out from Edoras out to West Ebnet so that I could get to Helm's Deep. But especially because I played Aemir, their protection is a little less necessary, and I don't want to run into him, walking through Dale and besieging Erebor without that regular being in there. Okay, so he's ready outside Lorien. Naturally, we'll move the Fellowship again. Safe. Okay, so now I'm at the part where I would definitely like Gandalf to die. Because I'm, expecting him to get Saruman by the end of his turn. He still needs to get Sauron to war, too, before he can actually attack me here. So I'm expecting Sauron to go to war with this die. Oh, in comes Saruman. So interestingly, if Gandalf had got hit and killed there, it would have been possible for me to use this Mirror of Galadriel with a ring to be able to get him. But obviously he can see that Gandalf's not dead. So he knows that even with Mirror of Galadriel in hand, I can't get Gandalf the White this turn. So that's well played. So I'll move the Fellowship again. And we're safe again. That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best choice is here. I don't know. I'm tempted to use a ring to move again. I'm expecting him to just muster Sauron to war now. I'm tempted to use a ring to move again, just so that I can more, for sure get Gandalf into play at the start of next turn. And then, play Book of Mizarble and defend the Dew Line that way. But I could also... Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's an option too. Yeah, I could also muster the elves down, and then that way, as soon as he attacks either one of them, then, yeah. I think I like moving better, just because I have these tools of Mirror of Galadriel and Book of Mizarble that makes getting Gandalf the White so much more reliable and better of an idea. So I'm going to move again. Please hit me. Safe again. Darn it. Okay. Well, 5 movements in 2 turns is still nice, but yeah. Oh well. So now Sauron to war, I expect. Yeah. Okay, let's hope he rolls more eyes next turn, huh? Down to the king, red arrow. Wow, 2 scouts this early. Wasn't expecting that. I will say Fellowship okay. We definitely don't want to declare past Moria because we want to, save that in case we get hit by a 0 reveal so that we can guaranteed kill Gandalf. Wow, another spectacular roll for us. So this makes me glad I didn't muster the elves down because I definitely want to save all this valuable stuff for sprinting. So I think I need to move right away because he does have 2 musters. So if he does have Day Without Dawn, he could get them to war. So I need to move right away to be able to hopefully get Gandalf the White this turn before before Day Without Dawn becomes playable. Because see, I'll move once now, then if he had it, he would muster the Southrons down, then I'd move again, and hopefully Gandalf gets hit and killed on the 2 at 5. And then he musters again, and then I just barely, it'll be my turn, so then I could play the Will of the West to get him. This is it's kind of funny that I said that at the start of the game. The key is moving a lot and never getting hit, and so far I've rolled a ton of movement and haven't been hit once yet. So that is pretty weird. Yeah, like this is turn 3, and I'm gonna have moved 7 times and hopefully have Gandalf the White. If I don't get hit, then I'll use a ring to move again. Yep, in come the Southrons to war. So now we move again, and hopefully we get hit. Oh, save again, darn it. So, like, that is good. In the sense of, what do you call it? Interestingly, instead of risking it by moving again and hoping to get Gandalf killed, I could spend a ring with this Palantir and separate Strider instead, because I'm at 7 movement plus 3. That's enough that he could just run straight to Minas Tirith or to Lamroth, and then I could crown him. Old Forest Road, no cards, so we're going to slap down a Scouts. And away we go. Yeah, Old Forest Road, Men of the North are activated and down a step. So there you go. I don't think he has Day Without Dawn, because if he did, I think he would have mustered the Southrons down another step. Excuse me. Yeah. So is there really any point in saving my materials defensively? I don't think so. So see, now this is what I was talking about. Now it's a bad thing that I mustered the elves down now, because he has 2 attacks, so he can neatly besiege both of them, and that will bring the elves to war, and then he could bring the Witch King in. If I hadn't mustered the elves down, then they wouldn't be at war yet. But I don't know. Then he could use a ring and attack one of the strongholds again anyway. So I guess maybe it's not making that big of a difference here. Rum pum pum pum. I'll just pass. I'll just let him besiege them first, just because, I don't know. It's better to keep your opponent in doubt about what you're doing. I think if I were him, I would besiege Lorien first, just in case I had Power Too Great and was forgetting about it here. Also interesting, I could have used this Palantir first to play an action if I'd wanted to, but none of these are playable anyway, so never mind, that doesn't make sense. But if one of these cards was playable, a valid line of reasoning would have been to use this Palantir first to play one of these cards and cycle to another card. While I still have Gandalf the Grey, and then expect that my 2 movements would kill him. But because they didn't kill him, I'm glad I did it this way, so that I could use a ring and move again here, and, 75% odds of getting hit. Please hit me, Yeah, 8 steps in 3 turns, and Gandalf the White is a pretty good start. That being said, he'll have a fairly unreinforced Woodland Realm and Lorien and Witch King besieged by the end of turn 3, but I think it's still a luckier start for me than for him so far. Woodland Realm, okay. So Woodland Realm is besieged, and both the elves and the north go 1 step closer to war. I will pass again. Also, I would say it would have been nicer to have Thranduil, but it's kind of nice that I don't, because if I did have Thranduil, Power Too Great, or Celeborn, I'd be in a real bind right now about whether to play one of them or whether to move again. But because I don't have any of them, my life is very straightforward. I'm just running as fast as I can. Please hit me. Please hit me. Okay, I hit. Nice. And a 3, please. An I. That's a 1R. So I think I will happily kill Gandalf to that, just in case I draw another 0 or I, because I really don't have to worry about corruption at all right now. And I do have to worry about speed. And it's a 0. Great. So I'm very glad I killed Gandalf. So the downside is I have used 2 rings already in my quest to kill Gandalf here. I think that's probably one of the least thematic things about this game is the fact that it's a good thing to kill Gandalf. Like the fact that I just used the phrase quest to kill Gandalf, and most of you probably know what I mean, is, woefully athematic. Like the other members of the Fellowship were, shocked, dismayed, absolutely horrified at Gandalf's death in the book when they thought he died in Moria. So naturally, I'm going to put him in the Grey Havens because I'm going to do some sneaky Book of Mizarble things. Which, he probably, he knows then that I have either Book of Mizarble or Fear Fire Foes, and that's making him very sad right now, probably. Or he might think that I'm just, bluffing or feeling hopeful that I might pick up one. So assuming I don't pick up any terrible cards that are more likely to be thrown out, I'm probably going to discard Challenge of the King next turn. Because that's, I'm not planning on separating Strider. Like, I have a lead in speed right now. Lead in speed. Yeah, so I might as well just keep Strider with the Fellowship and just go fast. Feels nice being up to 5 dice. Really glad I'm the Free People's player for this one. It's a frustrating game for Shadow when the Fellowship is just flying like that and there's nothing you can do about it. I think he's made pretty much all correct decisions so far, but the Fellowship's just fine. And yet, you never know. I might just roll all Palantirs and Musters this turn and not be able to make it to Mordor this turn. And then I might do it again next turn. You never know. Right, I was waiting for him to discard, and I hadn't noticed that he'd actually finished discarding yet. Okay, but I get my 2 character dice, so that's perfect. Oh, excuse me. All right, the Witch King came in, so all of the nations are active now. Which is nice, because now I can play Red Arrow. I mean, it's not nice that the Witch King's there. He's a creepy guy. You can quote me on that. Witch King is 10 out of 10 a creep. I'll come out. I'll say it. Okay, so I think I'm going to use one of these to hide, and then I might need another one to hide. So I'm going to use one of the musters to hide first anyway. Just because with that Palantir, I would like to ideally play the Palantir to play Book of Mizarble, put the dwarves at war, then use a muster to muster an elite in there. But I really need one of these dice to hide again if I get hit and revealed on the next step. Which isn't actually super likely anymore after 2 reveals left. Yeah, it's 50-50 whether I get revealed or not now. I'm expecting he's going to attack Woodland Realm. Oh, no, he's moving more Nazgul over first. Yep, that's reasonable. Putting 1 on the Fellowship, also reasonable. That makes me think he probably doesn't have Cruel Weather then. Because if he had Cruel Weather, I think he would specifically want me to not get revealed so he could play it. Because if I do get hit and revealed twice... he's undoing that action. Yeah, because I think 4 leadership is enough, probably, that you could just hit the gas and attack Woodland Realm. Like, moving more Nazgul around isn't a bad idea. But you could probably just attack, too. Unless this is a brilliant bluff. If he didn't actually want to do that Nazgul and just pretended to do it, then undid it, just so I would think that he doesn't have Cruel Weather. That would be sneaky. I'd be impressed. Alternatively, I could also separate Strider and then use Mirror of Galadriel to turn this into a Will of the West and then crown him. I think that would be a scandalous misuse of dice, but that's something I could do anyway. If someone had paid me $20 to get a Free People's military win, that would be what I'd do. But I definitely wouldn't have played the game this way if that was the case. Okay, out comes Grant. I see why I was thinking about moving more leadership there. Okay, so the men of the North are at war now, since they're being attacked again in Woodland Realm. And he gets to plunk down a card without me responding to it. Yeah, that's one of the most annoying things about when that regular gets to escape into Woodland Realm. Okay, he gets 3 hits though, so I don't think Woodland Realm is long for the world. I get 2 hits back, but yeah, they're pretty cooked at this point. Okay, round 2. I don't really think any cards I have are worth playing here. Like, I could play Advantageous Position or Heroic Death, but the only point of stalling out here would be if I thought I was going to waste more action dice. But he has 2 more rounds from Grand, just to roll a 6. So I think I'm going to keep my cards to myself. Yeah, he gets 1 hit. I get not a hit back. Okay, the Woodland Realm did not survive gloriously. So I could muster in Dale right now. I don't think I will, though, because there's every chance he would run around anyway. And also, like, if he attacks me, I'm going to use my other scouts here to get into Erebor, and then that's a full 5 units. So, like, it would be nicer having that elite there, but I'm also fine with, because I want to keep 1 die for hiding, right? And yeah, I don't know. It just feels risky. Like, if he runs around and ignores Dale, then that feels like a waste of a die. So I'll just go ahead and move the Fellowship and hopefully not get hit. Safe. 9 movements, hit a total of once. Yeah, if I hadn't been revealed on that time where I did get hit there, then this would be great and I'd be perfectly safe from cruel weather. But because I got revealed, now I'm a little bit worried about cruel weather. So that is a bummer. But if he doesn't play it right now, then that means he probably doesn't have it. And there's still 20 character cards out there, so it is unlikely that he has it anyway. Because it's, turn 4. Oh, he has it. Ah, darn it. Okay. So then I'm going to move again. I could still make it to Mordor this turn, but it's going to cost me my last ring. That's a bummer. Wow, safe. That's insane. Okay, yeah, now he attacks Dale. Hopefully no card. No card is what I would like to see. Then I get the scouts into Erebor. And this is a downside to the, Gandalf and Greyhaven's route, is that I just didn't have the dice to... So it might be Swarm Bats, I hope not. Okay, it's an Onslaught, though, so I get scouts away again. That's frustrating for sure, also, as the Shadow player when... what do you call it? The Free People's player picks up scouts this early and gets to use them. I'm a little surprised he leaves 3 regulars behind. Or maybe he's just already committing to not bothering to attack Erebor, and he's just leaving a force behind so that he's keeping these 3 victory points and calling it a day for the dew line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move now because I might as well. I'm clearly doing it, and I'd rather, not move with a reroll. Okay, I do get hit this time, only barely, though. Only one of those hit me. So it's a 1 reveal. That's a bummer. No, might as well declare in this one. Take the 1 corruption, because I'd rather not lose Strider. And the other 0 reveal. Okay. So There's lots of non-revealing tiles in there for me, so that's nice. Interesting that both the 0 reveals got drawn from the Stronghold reveal extra tiles. I'll just go ahead and pass. So here's another question. Do I hide or do I put in the blue tile first? I think... Actually, it's very unlikely. If he does a tile drawing card, it's very unlikely to reveal me and force an extra draw. So I think I probably can go ahead and hide. Morgul Wound, breaking, moving Nazgul. Wouldn't surprise me if he pivoted back to Lorien because, yeah, you'd like to blow up Lorien before, any, what do you call it? Words. Celeborn's Galadrim or Power 2 Great shows up. So yeah, I will use this to hide with Strider's ability so we can get to the get-go right away before any more red tiles get added. He did play Shelob earlier, so that's a bummer for me. There's one red tile out there that I can hit. Watch me hit it in the first step. Well, honestly, I deserve it. Lorien, okay, so I'm probably going to play, if it's a character card. So I think I'll go with Heroic Death here. Yeah, Hellstench. So with a character card, it could be Cruel as Death, and then Advantageous Position would be helpful, but that's the only one, whereas there's a lot of strategy cards that you can counter or make less good. He just rolls 2 6s anyway. That helps. I roll 3 dice back and no reroll hit, so I take the leader as 1 hit and then downgrade an elite. Rolling 6s is a good idea. He did not make any use of that on the hunt, but he's made reasonable use of that on the combat thus far. Interesting that he had Nazgul Search this turn too. I don't think there was a time where that made sense for him to use it. Yeah, I think no. Maybe when I was on after he Cruel Weathered me away and I moved again and didn't get hit, then he would have caused me to use both my dice to finish getting to Mordor this turn. But at the same time, what did he really cost me with that die? I just hid with it. I would have done that at the start of the next turn anyway, so not hugely useful. Okay, so he presses and says no cards. I think I will also say no card. Wish I'd played a Confusion. Would have been neat. He gets 1 hit. I get 2. Says stay. I'm guessing he means... Oh, no, he's finishing. Okay. Yeah, he means stop. Okay. Okay, so interestingly, I can still play, Book of Mizarbul to get the dwarves to war, but I think there's not a lot of point in that because he's pretty clearly not going for it. But then again, if I muster up an army, I could, fight him for Dale if that becomes important. So that's still something I could do with my time. The Fellowship, okay. I'm assuming he's going to allocate 1 eye, and away we go. Also, maybe actually I should have given more thought to separating companions, maybe, because I don't need all these companions on the Mordor track. I got so outrageously lucky in not getting hit that... I could have afforded to spare a couple. I'm a little bit sad about this roll, just that I'm only getting 1 movement here. So the question is, do I put my blue tile in first and give him a chance to put in a red tile, or do I move first? I think I move first, just because if, I'm fine with literally anything in here except Shelob. And going from 1 red tile to 2 red tiles in here is worse, adding a red tile and a blue tile is worse for me overall than adding neither of them. So I think I'm going to move first. And, hope for not Shelob. Okay, an eye. That's fine. Do I take a random or do I eat the 2? I think I'll eat the 2 for now, just because I don't want to risk losing Strider. And I don't have to right now. Just I'm in such good health that I don't have to. Definitely a bummer that I spent all 3 rings right now. And that's part of the power of him having spent Cruel Weather, right? If I had a ring here, I could move a second time still this turn. But well. Hitting me with Morgul Wound right now would feel bad. 10 out of 10 would not enjoy. So I think what I'm going to do with the rest of this turn is I'm going to hide with one Palantir, play the other blue tile with the other one, and I'm going to use these two hybrid dice to walk this Rohan army over to Helm's Deep. I should maybe consider... I can consider anyway playing Book of Mizarble or mustering Gondor to war to defend Dol Amroth. Those are things I could do anyway. I could also play Riders of Theoden before I start walking those armies. Just, have even more troops, make Rohan even more indefensible. But it's kind of at the point where like it's strong enough, that I don't really feel like I need to play Riders of Theoden. I kind of want to just save it for the Daylight, because Daylight is a really strong combat effect. Sorry. I am moderately diseased, as they say. Yeah, it's important, especially as the Shadow player, to take your time thinking endgame turns through, because your choices often can make the difference between losing the game or winning the game. So I don't have anything to help Lorien, so not much to do there anyway. I could play Swords in Eriador just to cycle for another strategy card, just in case I do pick up Celeborn or Power 2 Great. Yeah, that's not the worst idea I've ever heard. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll do it. Yeah, so there's 18 cards out there. There's 2 that are particularly helpful. There's also Círdan and Imra Hill that I'm looking for. So, yeah, we'll do it. And also, it's nice having these troops out here in Eriador just in case he does end up coming this way. Oh, what do you know? Power 2 Great. Okay, I can be very annoying to him this turn. Unless, of course, he blows up Lorien in one shot right now, which is very much a possibility. I think I'd rather have picked up Celeborn between the two. But again, yeah, he's probably about to blow it up in one shot because he has all these elites to press with. So maybe I shouldn't have played Swords in Eriador there. Oh, that was extra stupid of me. I didn't even think of the obvious thing. I needed to save those 2 musters for if this army is going to run and besiege Dol Amroth. I wanted both those musters for, as soon as Gondor's at war, then I could put 2 elites in there. Now I can't do that anymore. That was really dumb of me. Okay, well, we'll splunk down Riders of Theoden. Okay, nice. He has We Come to Kill. That helps. I might have saved that for another stronghold because this one feels a little bit over. Okay, he gets 0 hits. I get 1. That helps. But of course, he has his We Come to Kill, and he can press. He might just get 3 hits right now. You never know. He has 1. That's about expected. I think I'd press if I were him, just because speed is of the essence. And he seems to be, pretty intent on going faster. So, yep, that helps. It's a bummer that I don't get to play Power 2 Great in time. Oh, well, what can you do? Probably cry about it. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Okay, he's doing another strategy card. I think I'll smack down Book here, just because, there's no point in me playing it anymore. So, Great Host, nice. That's another one of the strategy cards that can't go around it. So he just needs to roll 1 6 on 10 dice, and then he's got me. Yeah, there's his 1. Now he rolls 2 6s anyway. Didn't even need it. I get 1 hit back. But that doesn't really matter. Maybe I should have held on to Book just in case I wanted to fight for Dale. That might have been a better use. I was hoping to get to use Power 2 Great, though. Oh, well, here we are. I will pass. Oh, yeah, he still wants to get the mouth this turn, so that's probably what he's going to use for one of those hybrid dice. And then he has 3 attacks, so he could neatly besiege Dol Amroth this turn. Still, now that I've made that a much more appetizing prospect anyway. Don't mind me just playing a tournament game and doing things inefficiently. Lol, NBD. Just do this every day. Still in an okay position. It's a little alarming how he's already at 5 points, though. You know, that is pretty good. Same time, one asks the question, where are his points coming from next? I would rush Dol Amroth if I were him. And also the fact that he has a ring means he could use this Palantir as an attack too. So I think I would even bring a couple regulars from Umbar just so it's a full 10 units, then go besiege Dol Amroth and bring them out this turn. That would be the rest of my turn if I was the Shadow player anyway. That being said, there's merit to just running and trying to take it with that last attack instead of bringing two regulars, because what if I'm in spot, like I'm in right now, where I don't have Círdan's ships or Imra Hill, and I might pick it up next turn, So, anyway. That's fascinating. I'm just realizing actually that all three Rohan muster cards have already come and gone. Because I used Aemir to reinforce there, and I used Red Arrow with scouts into Erebor, and I used Riders of Theoden just now as the Daylight card. So he knows that Rohan is not getting any stronger from mustering cards. Anyway, obviously these guys can walk over to Helm's Deep, which is something I would like to do at some point, and that's I guess that's what I'll do with the hybrid die if he doesn't attack Gondor, but I'm really expecting him to attack Gondor because I don't know where else he's going to go. I suppose he could put these armies together and take a swing at Erebor, but Dol Amroth seems a much more appetizing target to me right now. He could also bring this army down and attack Fords of Eisen and join it up with Orthanc and try to go after Helm's Deep that way. That's another option that I've made more vulnerable by spending that hybrid die. So, yeah, you really got to look at your opponent's options before you spend something and not just tunnel vision on what you want to do with it. As illustrated by my own folly, as we have already greatly discussed. Let's think of something different to talk about. Because do you know what happens, boys and girls, if you talk about how much you suck too long? It makes you sad. Pelargir. Okay, here we go. Yeah, also no card. Hoping he doesn't roll a 6. He's probably going to roll a 6, though. He's got 6 dice. Should probably get it. Yep, he gets him. One hit back. Nice. Good job, guy in Pelargir. I will pass heroically. Ends up to 6 points, so he just needs 2 more strongholds, and Dol Amroth is not going to take him long. I might lose this anyway, despite that spectacular start. So I could have put a regular in Laemden and a regular in Dol Amroth, just to waste a half a movement. Maybe that would have been better, actually. I don't know. But I like putting an elite in. Anyway, that's my thought on it. Because that regular in Laemden is probably going to die. If I had scouts, I would have been really excited to do that. Interesting that the 3 regulars just walk from from Umbar to West Herondor. I'm very surprised by that. Interesting. And then this army down from Lorien. I was really expecting him to go after Dol Amroth right away. Okay, so I'm going to hide the Fellowship. Okay, he stops to bring in the full army. So I guess he's going to use a ring. Interesting. Is he going after Helm's Deep or is he going after Dol Amroth? I think he's going after Dol Amroth this turn anyway. Interesting. I don't know what to do here. So I could bring these guys out from Edoras if I think he's going after Rohan, but then he gets Dol Amroth with 0 mustering. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave the ball in his court for a bit longer. I'm just going to go ahead and play my blue tile and, see what he does. And yeah, then play my hybrid. I'm expecting him to just walk into Lamedon. Oh, no, this army's going into West Emnet. That's the plan here. Ah, yes, very good. Very good. So now I have to pick. I can either muster in Dol Amroth, or I can retreat this army back to Helm's Deep. So what I should have done, actually, is I should have brought this army up and this army back from Fords of Eisen to Helm's Deep. That's what I should have done here. I'm playing too fast. I should have taken more time, and I should have seen that coming. So, which seems more important? As much as I want to justify my choice of not doing anything, and I want to, I want to not seem stupid, I think the way to seem less stupid would be to muster in Dol Amroth here, just to make full use of the die. But I think the actually better move is to move these troops back into Helm's Deep, because letting this army besiege Helm's Deep is, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not only is that less value, like the two regulars in leadership are better, but this army is also weaker. Like the elite in Dol Amroth is less likely to completely save the day. Also, there's more backup that might show up for Dol Amroth than for Helm's Deep. Like Helm's Deep, there are no more mastering cards to help in there, but there's Imrahil and Círdan out there to help with that. So here's the other question. I could bring out some troops to fight over Pelargir, but then I'm making Minas Tirith vulnerable, and I might have to come back and protect it. So that's a tough choice. So we have to ask ourselves, does that make sense? I think I will do that just because the Shadow armies are fairly far away, so I should have plenty of time to respond to it. And this is, teeing myself up that it'll be a little bit easier to take that city back and stall in the future. So I'm expecting him to spend a ring and besiege a Dol Amroth here. Yeah. Maybe that was the wrong choice too, because if I'd let him besiege Helm's Deep, then I would have gotten to muster in Dol Amroth again next turn. Bummer. But I picked up Imrahil, so that helps. Okay. So I guess that does validate my choice a little bit more, because like I did mention, there is help out there that can come for Dol Amroth. There is no help that comes for Helm's Deep here. Okay, he rolls tons of eyes and not as many attacks, so that helps me a lot. A little bit of movement, a little bit of mustering, that's great. So I think I'm going to smack down Imrahil first, just in case he, played something that, Ring Racer Abroad, Black Captain, or even without those, then he could quite plausibly take up Dol Amroth in one shot. He still might take it out in one shot, even with this mustering here, but it's less likely anyway. So, yeah, let's see. He just needs 2 strongholds, so he just needs to take out Helm's Deep and Dol Amroth, which, with better dice, would have been not that big of an ask. So let's see. He could use a ring to treat this Palantir as an army movement and join up these 2 armies. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he never got the mouth last turn. I'm just realizing that. Okay, in comes a red tile, so I think he's not planning on winning this turn and getting that red tile out there. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm going to move again quick before he puts any more red tiles in there. Please not a red tile. Every time. It's always the tile that they just put in, Always that one. So I'm going to take a random this time because corruption is getting an issue. It's a hobbit. Okay. Well, one of the 3 2 companions would have been better, but at least it's not Strider anyway. So this also makes eyes more... Like, the fact that he rolled this many eyes is a problem for me, for sure. Because, well, I mean, obviously, it's... Obviously. What are you talking about, Bob? Not obviously. It is good for me in that he's not getting a ton of conquering progress done this turn. It is bad for me in the sense that... Okay, so he's moving his Nazgul leadership down to Dol Amroth. So that's something I can consider using my extra musters for here, is maybe mustering Rohan down. And this is an extra bummer that I didn't play Red Arrow for its combat, for its event. It's that this army would be stronger and Rohan would be closer to war. So that'd be neat. I'm going to move again because, let's be real, I want to do it. Please not the other red tile. I will cry if you pull us 2 red tiles in a row this turn. Okay, a 2, that's fine. I'll take another random. Not Strider, please. Legolas, that's great. Thank you. Okay, I think overall it's still bad luck that I pulled a red, but it is nice that I didn't pull an eye, because an eye would have done a lot of damage this turn for sure. Okay, so I have no quarter that I could play. Might as well play it. What else am I going to do with it? I could maybe, if I'm going to muster Rohan down, I could let Rohan fall and then save this for a field battle if I'm going to stick it out against the guys in West Emnet. But actually, I have 2 end cards that I'm going to use for that anyway, so I think I will use no quarter here. Okay, he cancels it out, so I'm very glad I played a card here that got canceled, as opposed to letting him hit, on 5s for all his rerolls. But he's just rolling 6s anyway, so whatever. Okay, but I'm also rolling hits. 3 from me. Good job, Immerhill. So he gets 2 hits, I get 3 back. I think that's still a good deal overall for Shadow, but just his army weakening a bit it's something anyway, Yeah, see, he has to stop. So here's a question for you. Should I retake Pelargir right now, just to, pull the points back a bit more? Or do I muster Rohan down twice to make this a real, poop storm for him? Because then he has to attack Helm's Deep right now with this army, and I can stand and fight him with both these end cards here. Specifically, Nameless Wood would be strong here. Anyway. Because on my, 6 dice, I should get 1 hit, right? So then, the extra hits would reduce him significantly. So I think I will muster Rohan down like that. Because that will buy me more time, I think, than Pelargir here, and I can always do that later. All right, this is another turn that I think last turn, I can understand why he didn't get them out last turn, because he was, doing this pressure, like he was putting pressure on Helm's Deep and pressure on Dol Amroth at the same time. But it feels bad that the Fellowship's been in mortar for 2 turns and there's no mouth, I hate how this game offers you those frustrating trade-offs, Like, yeah, speed and pressure and not giving your opponent any time to regroup versus playing it slowly and building up your own economy more efficiently. It's one of the many tough choices this game offers. As I said before, I think he's played this game very well. He's punish. I made 2 mistakes last turn, actually, that he's taken advantage of very well. Dol Amroth again. Yeah, makes sense. No card. Sealer's Bane. Yeah. Okay, he gets 2 hits and 1 more. So yeah, there goes Dol Amroth. I'm in the light of having lost. It's a bummer that I'm using all that firepower here when I think I'm about to need it in Helm's Deep. But at the same time, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to finish mustering Rohan to war. I think he's going to attack me in Helm's Deep, and I think I'm going to stay for a field battle. Just because he's only rolling 4 dice, I'm rolling 6 dice. At the same time, it's a bummer, like, getting this army weakened at all, because there is more troops over in Orthanc, but at the same time, that means I'll be able to muster, like, say I win that fight, I get to muster at least twice in a row at the start of next turn, assuming I roll 2 musters anyway. If I don't, then, well, that would be neat, because then I can move more. So I think he's debating whether to attack me or not. If he has Ring Wraiths or Abroad or Black Captain Commands, then that makes that a lot less fun for me, because, he might be able to play Dread and Despair or something. Excuse me. Yeah. Tough choice. So remember how I was complaining about that end card that I picked up on turn 1? It's that one in my hand that I'm so grateful for right now, because it's grants me a much higher likelihood of winning the fight that I've just picked for myself. So So that's the other story of today, boys and girls. Never ever listen to what Bob says, ever. Unless, of course, you're one of my kids who's watching this later, in which case, please do listen to what I say. Yeah, tough choices for sure. He could also use a ring on it to get the mouth. That would be a reasonable choice here for sure. Just say, okay, you can muster up in Helm's Deep. I'll come get you with a big army sooner or later anyway. It is nice for me, however, that Dol Amroth went out so hard because now this army is weak. So if they do come and fight me over Pelargir, like it's actually close. It's 4 regulars and an elite to 4 regulars and an elite. Obviously, he has leadership advantage, but if I do manage to muster up some reinforcements, that might work for me. Or if I picked up Círdan and then took Pelargir and played Círdan, that would be 10 out of 10 neat. Another idea, he could use this, he could put a ring on this and turn it into, yeah, he liked it, so he put a ring on it. He could turn it into an army movement and, darn it, ring wrestler abroad. Yeah, he's doing it. He's coming for Helm's Deep. So I can also, yeah. See, he does only have 1 character card in hand. So if I stand and fight, there's also a chance here anyway that, what do you call it? I can kill the Witch King. So that would be cool. 10 out of 10 would like to kill again. Ooh, tough stuff. Or he could also use this to, put these armies together in Fords of Isen and be ready to strike Helm's Deep next turn. For sure. I think it really depends on the cards he has in hand. If he has a Dread and Despair in hand, then I think I would go after Helm's Deep. He just used a Swarm of Bats too, which would have been a perfect card for that. I think if he attacks me and plays a character card, I'm going to play Horn Dark first. Just because there is a good chance that it's, Dread and Despair or something like that. And then Nameless Wood has significantly less good odds of working. So it's a bummer using that to only reduce his combat dice by 1. But at the same time, that is still protecting my army. Oh, no, okay. He is moving to Orthanc and presumably also putting Nazgul here to join up in Fords of Isen. That's a much more comfortable decision for me then. I don't have to make any painful choices about staying for a field battle or retreating. And that makes me very happy about my choice to muster Rohan down twice instead of retaking Pelargir, because now I can, muster an elite in Helm's Deep. There's even a chance this army, if I retake Pelargir, muster up a little bit, I could think about trying to retake Dol Amroth. This is the kind of thing it would be really cool to have Strider out for, so I could play Dead Men and, a just add water kind of army. Okay, he leaves a Nazgul in Pelargir. I think that makes sense, just to increase the likelihood of doing damage to me as I retake Pelargir. I think that makes a lot of sense. Leaves 1 regular in West Emnet. I think that makes sense. Okay. Gladrill, that's okay. And Scouts, that's okay. All 3 Scouts by turn 7. That's pretty wild. Yeah, Fellowship okay, and away we go. Wait, did he get the mouth? He's rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Okay, no, he is not rolling 10 dice. I thought he was rolling 10 dice for a second there. Okay, 2 Wills of the West, so that's kind of scary. So that pretty much just... Oh no, that's even worse! Okay. Oh, man. I was about to say that just means I have to move the Fellowship right away. Because then, if he plays Day Without Dawn, at least he only gets 1 die. But then that also means that if I do move right away, then I don't get to muster in Helm's Deep at all. So the moral of the story is, shoot, huh? Yeah. Oh, very bad stuff. Oh, I think I do move right away, because then if he does play Day Without Dawn, at least I can still use this hybrid die to muster once in Helm's Deep. But then I'm a little bit scared about using that because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks with ring. So this army can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and just get Minas Tirith. So that's kind of bad news bears either way. So I think I got to just move right away. Still just hope he doesn't have Day Without Dawn anyway. It's an I. We'll take another random. Not Strider, please. Thank you. He's not Day Without Dawn. It sucks either way, because now he gets to besiege Helm's Deep for free. But at least that makes my life a little bit simpler, because then I don't have to worry about whether I should spend this hybrid die to muster in Helm's Deep right now, or whether I should save it to move this army back to Minas Tirith or take Pelargir, because the option is now for him. He may besiege Helm's Deep or play... Oh, no, wait, that's even worse, because I got revealed, too. So now he can besiege Helm's Deep, and if I hide again, he can still play Day Without Dawn right now to take that Will of the West away from me. So that is a bummer hummer for sure. I think I've lost this game. Yeah, I just lose. Yeah, okay. I'm going to hide again. Hope he doesn't have Day Without Dawn. Probably has it. He's gone through so much of the deck. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah. Oh, well. At least we got one movement down. If I had mustered first, then I wouldn't have got to move at all. And that would be even worse. So, yeah. Bad news bears for me for sure here. I do have these 2 Ent cards. So maybe Helm's Deep can hold on. I will pass. I mean, on the plus side, at least Day Without Dawn is out of there, but losing a movement on the mortar track is a very high price to pay for it. Also not getting to muster. Like, if both of those had been character dice, this would be a lot more okay, because I'd have gotten to put another elite in Helm's Deep. So who knows? Maybe I actually should have used a Will of the West to put an elite in Helm's Deep, but then he would play Day Without Dawn, and then I wouldn't have moved at all this turn, and that would feel even worse. But yeah, either way, I'm praying that I hold on this round and that I roll at least 2 movement next turn. So I can hold on by either Helm's Deep staying alive against his, 4 attacks, or if Helm's Deep falls, I can still try to take Pelargir back anyway. Oh, very tough stuff. Very tough stuff. I wonder, is it a better idea to play Phial of Galadriel so that it's in the pool for me for next turn? Or is it better to... Yeah, no, hitting a reveal there was actually super bad luck too. There was only 5 tiles in there that would reveal me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that didn't. Also 1 stop. So I guess 7 versus 6. Okay, so I guess it was only a little over 50% that I didn't get revealed there. But if I hadn't gotten revealed, then he would have had to choose between either playing Day Without Dawn to take away my other movement, or besieging Helm's Deep first and letting me move again. Yeah, here comes the mouth. So this begs the next question. Do I play Phial, or do I draw another card? I think I draw another card, because, let's see, there's a bunch of good combat cards out there. Which deck do I draw from, though? I think because there's only one more Ent card out there, and in general, strategy cards are better for combat and defending than, than character cards. I think I'm going to draw a strategy card instead. And I'm going to hold on to this hybrid die for attacking Pelargir if I have to at the end. So, strategy card. Here we go. It's a shield wall, so that's decent. So, I think for the cards, I'm going to open with Huarn Dark. Assuming it's a strategy card, because that's the most powerful defensive one I have. Okay, so he's bringing out... Yeah, he's bringing out the last of his troopy troops there. So he only has... Let's do some math here. Are you ready, kids? We're going to do some math here. So I can attack Pelargir, and he'll retreat. So if I get a hit, that helps a lot. If I don't get a hit, then the army is about 50-50. Worst case scenario, I don't get any hits and he gets like 2. then I'm kind of just screwed. But he does still then have to spend a die retaking Pelargir. So then he has 2 dice to get Helm's Deep with. I am going to be leaving Minas Tirith completely undefended, but there's no one who can get there to it this turn. So I think I gotta attack Pelargir this turn. I'm glad this is justifying my earlier choice of moving this army out. Because if it was still sitting in Minas Tirith, this would be a joke right now. This would not be an option at all. So I'm going to attack Pelargir and say no card. And hopefully I roll 2 6s and he does not roll any hits. That would help a lot. I'm expecting no card from him because, like, what? 2 6s, please. 1 6, that's good. Yeah, just 1. He'll probably roll 1 hit back. Yeah, there's 1. Just 1. Yeah. Okay. So on the plus side, I get to, reduce an elite. I press. And he'll retreat to Lambden. I would assume anyway. So yeah, the plus side is that he's now down to 4 combat dice against my 5 for when we start our fight over Pelargir, assuming he tries to fight me again. So that helps anyway. There is a chance he'll have something like Black Captain Commands and be able to bring more leadership back. If he brings more leadership back, then it's going to be a lot dicier. I don't know what he's thinking, but it seems pretty straightforward. I suppose you could stay and try to fight and weaken this army a bit more, but what's the point of that? Like, it'd be a lot better to have that 4th unit and the Nazgul leadership with the Lambden army. I should have just rolled 2 6s, just had pity on him, made his life easier. Yeah, so he retreats. I reclaim Pelargir. And life's a jolly old hoot in Pelargir. Okay, well, my life's a lot simpler now. I'm out of action dice, so I just sit here and wait for him to quite possibly win the game. So I'm expecting him to attack Helm's Deep first. It's a bit of a relief to me that he's using the character die. If he did have Black Captain Commands, because I think we haven't seen that one, right? So discarded cards. We've seen Ring Wraiths Abroad, I remember that. We have not seen Black Captain Commands yet. So if he did have both Fighting Uruk-hai and Black Captain Commands, then he would probably use the muster die with the mouth ability to attack Helm's Deep first. So, okay, he's playing strategy cards. So I think I'm going to open with Horn Dark here. Okay, it's just Devilry of War, thanks. That's not amazing, but that's okay. Please don't roll any hits. That is my personal preference about what should happen right now. Come on, man. That is rude. Offense taken. Okay, I roll 3 hits back. That helps a bit. Oh, that's a bad start for me for sure. Play Horn Dark, get hit for 2. Just Jeepers Creepers, Mr. Peepers. I don't know who Mr. Peepers is, but I got a problem with him. Okay, he's pressing, so I think he wants to win this in 1 shot, and then use a ring with the Palantir to move leadership down to Lambden, and then with the mouth ability attack Pelargir. So the question then is, which card do I play right now? Either Shield Wall or Nameless Wood. So Shield Wall is more likely to protect me for another round, but Nameless Wood is also more likely to succeed right now. So that is a tough choice. Nameless Wood will also damage him so much that it will make it a lot harder for him to press. But if it's like a Deadly Strife, though, then it might not matter that I'm making it impossible for him to survive another round. I think I'll go with Nameless Wood, just because if this doesn't, if this flops and I die either way, then at least I can still play Shield Wall and Pelargir. So, okay, it's a Neville Devilry Vor, thanks. So. Let's see what he rolls. 3 hits. Shit. Okay. Sorry, I don't normally swear on this. Haha. Okay, I get 3 hits back, but that doesn't really matter. So on the plus side, if I'd played Shield Wall, I don't know, he probably would have won anyway. Yep. That's probably GG, because, with the ability of him to pivot leadership down to Lambden and attack, with all that leadership advantage, I think he should be able to win. Um, okay, there you go. So that's him having taken 3 hits. So now he's up to 9 points. Hey, even with that crazy fast start, I still lose. I mean, I shouldn't, say that yet because I haven't lost yet, but it sure isn't looking good. I'd be surprised if he's using the mouth ability to attack right now. I'm officially surprised. Okay. I'm confused as to why he wouldn't move leadership first. Oh no, he's coming out to Edoras to fight me for Edoras. Oh, that's even worse. Shoot. Yeah, no, that makes more sense. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, cry. Yep. You know what they say? Feast your chubby cheeks in tears of gravy. Okay, so now he attacks Edoras. I think I don't play Shield Wall first because I'm going to enjoy the benefit of the, him only hitting at 6s. Of course he's coming for Edoras. What were you thinking about? Yeah, because that's a much surer fight than this army with leadership against Pelargir. I do only have 1 hit point less than him, but he's rolling 8 dice to my 2, so that makes that very bad news bears for me. Yeah, I'll stick to my plan and say no card. Deadly Strife. Okay, shooties. So he hits on 4s, so he needs just 1 more hit. Yeah, got him. Brutal. Man, I really thought I had it. Just when I got into Mortar that fast, I thought that was going to be an easy one. But yeah, no, his dice were strong. His plans were strong. And yeah, it was a good win. He earned it for sure. I don't know if there was anything I could have done much better. Maybe I should have mustered in Helm's Deep first, but you still got to move, right? So I don't know. Tough choices. It was a bummer that he had Crowweather at the right time because that cost me that ring, and it's also a bummer that that he had Day Without Dawn at the wrong. Yeah. Now I'm really regretting not playing Book of Mizarble because then I could have come out and fought for Dale at some point here too. But then again, he has more hit points than me anyway between these two. So. Yeah, I guess on the plus side for me, a turn 7 military win is on the fast side. So reasonable odds that I would have won next turn, with 5 dice and with Strider's ability to hide and no Day Without Dawn out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is extra bummer because I was on such a good win streak right now. First loss I've had in a while. My rating points were doing so well, too. Oh well. Luck had to turn on me at some point. Oof. Right. Did we already look at statistics? Okay, so he rolled net even. I rolled above on hits. I actually rolled below movement by the end. -2 on characters, +1 on wills. That's not, hugely outside the average, though. He rolled, and actually -1 on attacks, +2 on Palantirs, -3 on musters. Interesting. Wow. Well, well played to him. Hopefully I, win game 2 and we get to go for game 3. It's more exciting that way anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you all next time.